Good evening, I'm Dan Wall.
And I'm Laura Lee. Thanks for joining us. Crews are gaining ground tonight on that wildfire burning near Ely.
The Birch Bay fire sparked Wednesday on the north edge of Burnside Lake, about 8 miles northwest of Ely. It's torched about 35 acres, and firefighters have battled flames from the ground and air, with containment lines now around 10% of that fire.
Northern News Now's Ella Showburl is covering the fire for us tonight, hearing from those on standby for evacuation and tasked with fighting it.
Ella's still tense for people who live, work, and play up there.
Yeah, absolutely. The Minnesota Incident Command System took over the fire management just today, saying that there are over 80 personnel currently working to extinguish the Birch Bay fire. Water scooping aircraft and ground crews have been working to limit fire growth and protect nearby structures. We're told that for now, the fire is holding within its current perimeter. Firefighters have been cutting down brush to create a gap in the forest to slow the spread, and they're also working to put down containment lines. Firefighters did jump into action today, having to put out several hot spots along the northern edge of the fire. The incident command team says public safety is their #1 concern.
Because firefighter safety and public safety is the highest priority, containment lines and establishing them through fuel breaks is the easiest and most effective way to contain the fire into one area to help prevent its spread.
There are still evacuation designations in place, so YMCA Summer Camp is in one just a mile from the fire. Camp du Nord is under a ready evacuation designation, meaning camp leaders have to be ready to leave if the fire spreads. That camp serves 3,000 kids and families over the summer, and they're welcoming their first campers this weekend. The camp's executive director tells us that he hasn't seen a fire of this size this close to the campsite in years. He's working closely with authorities to guarantee the safety of campers and staff.
Whether it's with this fire or potentially a future fire, making sure that, our plan is reviewed and we're ready to go. So, but yeah, we're excited to have our family campers up and optimistic that all will be well.
Sinykin says his staff has also been trained and is prepared for emergency evacuation if necessary. The Forest Service tells us fire danger remains very high for the region and asks that everyone be aware of any burning restrictions that may be in effect. We'll have a link to those restrictions on our website. Live in studio, Ella Showburl, Northern News Now.